This is Star Station, and spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the orange Protoss, nicknamed the Commander, it is Stork.
His opponent spawning on the left top position as the blue Zerg. His name is Soulkey.
And he has teed my soul, because I love this player. He is so cool, so good at Starcraft, man, one of the top players. Of course, in Pro League, doing very well in the individual leagues as well. Stork, though, you know, I gotta hand it to him. He knows how to make innovative builds. He is so good at doing that. Anyway, we have Stork scouting around the map after getting that pylon down. Very standard opening from Protoss players. You'll pretty much always see that. Occasionally, you know, Protoss will go for that Nexus first and choose to do the pylon in their main base, and then later on the Forge there as well. But it's a little bit map dependent, and I think on 4-player maps, it is a little bit risky to go for that. So now we have Soulkey over here. It looks like, you know, he's just droning up right now. Eventually going to be going into the spawning pool. Most likely he may try to go for the hatch first if he's feeling like he wants to take a bit of a risk. Of course, the gains to that are that you do get that economy up on online a lot faster than normal.
So now Stork just moving around, scouting around the map, checking to see if his opponent is cross-positioned diagonally on the other side of the map. No, that is not the answer, and now he knows where his opponent is, but it's not going to scout if he went for the hatch first or the spawning pool first.
And it does look like Soulkey did opt to go for that hatchery first, and since Stork is going to be scouting Soulkey last, I think that the build will end up working out for him. But look at this, we have a gas first after hatchery first
So
from Soulkey here.
What could this mean?
Well, I'm assuming that we're going to see some type of, you know, fast tech play. Maybe you could see T.B.L.S. It looks like Stork, he's going to scout that, and he's going to be thinking to himself, hey man, what are you doing here? What are you up to here? And he's probably not entirely sure yet, because seeing gas after this is essentially a Z to Z build, where you go hatch first, then you get your gas, then you get your pool. It's almost never seen in this matchup here. So Stork, he's going to have to be on his toes. He's going to have to do a lot of scouting a little bit later on in the match to really figure out what Soulkey's plans are.
And also, if Stork prepares something really aggressive, he needs to make sure that he could survive what Soulkey has and then move out, because at this position, if you just look at what Soulkey is doing and what Stork is doing, Soulkey has the key to go for the aggressive play and finish Stork first before Stork can move out.
Yeah, Soulkey, interestingly enough, okay, he's going for the speed, so he just opted to get fast speed this game. We could see some type of large Zergling attack, maybe even some Banelings later on, but I think that Soulkey just wanted to opt for early gas here, and he could easily transition into a standard mid-game.
Well, you can never be too sure, because the probe was still running around the main and the natural, and if Soulkey prepares something, you know, much bigger than just the speedlings, he needs to make sure that the probe cannot scout it.
Indeed. I don't know, I just have a feeling that Soulkey may try to go for some type of two-base play, and having that early speed is going to be really good at denying any scouting that can come, because... Okay, well, never mind. We have the third base being built by Soulkey here, so it looks like he just wanted to get early early speed on his Zerglings.
And also, when I double-checked it, seems like Soulkey actually controlled the amount of gas that he was getting, only putting one drone at the geyser.
Yep, indeed he was. All right, Cybernetics Core finished up for Stork. It looks like we will get to see what his tech path of choice will be shortly. We could see the Stargate play come up. That's very common. There it is, Stargate being built by Stork. And should be easily scouted, though, from Soulkey. So, you know, Soulkey, he knows everything that's going on in this game. He's got perfect scouting information on Stork. And at the same time, Stork, he doesn't really know exactly what Soulkey's up to, because, you know, that early gas, that probably threw him off a little bit. He's a little bit confused, wondering, why did you go for that? I mean, you could go for an all-in behind that. You could go for the speed and just kind of trick your opponent, which is what Soulkey did here from the looks of things. But it's just something so uncommon that it's, I guess, the equivalent to if a Protoss player decided to go for a gateway expansion. Just, you know, throwing your opponent off.
Look at this. We have a double Stargate by Stork.
Double Stargate. Gotta say,
you're an expert with this.
I love the double Stargate build. It's awesome to see. So I think Storkey's going to get a few Phoenix out potentially here. After that, he can follow that up with the Void Rays. And then after there, After that, it really, you know, he can do whatever he wants. He can get more Void Rays. He can go for the Tempests. He can try to get Carriers even, which we did see him get earlier on in the special matches yesterday.
There was a one small mistake by Stork. He saw the Overlord with the Phoenix, but did not chase it down. Luckily, the Overlord is not moving inside the natural of Stork, and he needs to make sure that Soulkey does not see the double Stargate.
So Stork also deciding to put down 3 gateways as well. Maybe we could see some type of potential timing push with a lot of air units and gateways, but I think Stork plans on using these to help him secure his third base.
Well, let me ask you this question. What is a weakness for going the double Stargate in PvZ?
Well, 2 of the weaknesses for the double Stargate is that your third base is pretty much going to be delayed no matter what, and you don't have a lot of ground units. So what Stork is doing is essentially saying, all right, well, I will delay my third as well, but I'm going to have enough units to defend against anything that comes my way.
Well, it seems like Stork is adding more gateways right now.
Well, that's actually a dangerously high gateway count here, and we could see a build that I haven't seen in a long time. It could potentially be a Phoenix charge lot timing push off the 2 bases. It's very rare, and we would probably see charge by now, which is why I'm not so sure exactly what he's doing, but this is definitely something that is pretty non-standard, and most people have probably never seen before.
Yeah, he's just dumping all the gas onto the Phoenixes right now with the +1 upgrade, and he's getting some Zealous out in the front with the 2 gateways finishing up. He's doing a nice job with the Phoenixes, picking up a few drones here and there, but it is not going to be enough. Seems like he's just moving out on the map with his units, and let's see what Stork is going to do. He is going to take an extra expansion.
Yeah, Stork just playing very weird this game, I have to say. Definitely not a standard opening or build, you know, going for a lot of gateways, getting a lot of Phoenix out, and then opting to take your third base. Who knows what we could see from Stork at this point. He isn't building anything else out of those Stargates, but I have a feeling that they could be used later to add some Void Rays into the mix.
Yeah, and one thing interesting that I'm noting right now is that Soulkey did not make a Hydralisk Den, something that a lot of Zerg players opted for in the early PvZ days in Harvest Swarm.
Oh, look at this though. Soulkey able to snipe off one of those sentries pretty easily there.
And the second one also surrounded by the Zergling.
So only 1 sentry left, doesn't even have any energy for a force field. But it looks like Stork wants to continue this harassment here. He's actually gearing up for a pretty strong attack. He does have a high Phoenix count, and even using the Phoenixes to lift up and destroy a lot of those Zerglings there.
Yeah, all the Zerglings melting to the Phoenixes and the Zealous. Remember, those Zealous have +1, so they are strong against the Zerglings, and even with Soulkey making infinite Zerglings, it's not going to matter because those Zealous just tear them apart.
Uh-oh, Soulkey is in a lot of trouble here, losing a lot of units. And now drones at his third base here. I think that third is going to potentially go down. The Queen gets killed as well. 7 workers already been killed, and these Queens that are trying to come and help reinforce are just going to get picked off by the Phoenixes. More Zealots reinforcing at that third base, and so many drones getting killed. Soulkey is in a huge amount of trouble here.
Yeah, 17 drones have been killed so far. Even, you know, a couple of Queens getting picked up. And if you look at the bigger picture, Stork was able to secure his third base relatively easily compared to what I expected on this map. Look how wide open that third area is. It's so easy for the Zerglings to sneak in, snipe the Nexus, and then just walk out saying, goodbye, your Nexus is gone. But Stork, with the small push, he was able to deal lots of damage, and he was also able to secure extra expansion, and now he's taking to Colossus.
Oh, look at this though. Soulkey using his Zerglings is going to be able to kill off these units here. Actually really, really cost efficient for our Zerg player, and this could turn the game around into his favor if he's able to do a good amount of economic harassment to that third base. Nope, the cannons are going to prevent Soulkey from doing damage there, but we have an Ultralisk Cavern on the way from our Zerg player, and with the 2-2 upgrades almost complete, the Ultras. Soulkey,
oh my god,
he's going to be able to do a lot of damage to them. Stork does not have any kind of unit composition to really deal with them.
Stork needs to scout that Ultralisk Cavern as soon as possible. If not, he's not going to have the Immortals. Remember, in Heart of the Swarm, we have the Ultralisk buff. I forgot how much damage it does now. What was the number?
I think it's just a flat-out 30 damage, if I recall. Basically, they used to do a bonus damage to armored units, but now they just do a lot of damage to everything.
Yes, and that's why 5 Ultras are out on the way. Now, Stork with the double Stargate, he's making a few Void Rays, he's making it immortal, so it seems like he has a good idea on what Soulkey is going for, but is it just a little too late? We're going to have to check out. Just wait and see if he can deal with the Ultras.
Stork was able to scout that Ultralisk Cavern with his Phoenixes, and now 9 Ultralisks are on the way here.
God.
That is looking quite scary, but Soulkey, he doesn't have any anti-air, and Stork is churning out 2 Void Rays at a time here, scouting that 4th base as well. I think this may be a good time for Stork to think about expanding, making sure that he has enough defense against this Ultralisk attack, because it's looking like it's going to hit as soon as this armor upgrade finishes.
Yeah, and you also need to be careful because, yes, Soulkey doesn't have any anti-air, but we've seen some games where there's too many Ultras for the Void Rays to kill all the Ultras, and here we go!
Alright, here we go. Indeed, the Ultras are doing a lot of damage here, but the Void Ray is charging on those Ultras. There are so many Zerglings getting killed. The Void Rays are able to kill off most of the Ultras there. It looks like the 3rd goes down, the 4th base for Soulkey getting taken out as well. How much damage are these Ultralisks going to be able to do to this Protoss base?
Well, there's tons of Ultras right now, and even if Stork kills all the Ultras, he's going to lose the 3rd base. He only has 45 probes, and he lost tons of probes to the single Ultra that was at the 3rd base. And look at this. This is the problem that I was talking about before. Even if you have the air units to deal with the Ultras, those Ultras are so strong to a point where they just rip everything apart before they die.
Yeah, the Ultras, they're getting kited a little bit here, but that all immortal, no shields left, going to go down almost immediately. And more... Stork's definitely not happy about this. He was in a very nice position, but the Ultras, they came out, man, and once that happened, Stork just did not have enough units and time to really deal with them.
Yeah, so now Stork saying, why are the Ultras so strong? And Soulkey also saying that Void Rays are strong, but not as strong as the Ultras, and these number of Zerglings attacking the Solid and the Natural.
Lifting up a few Zerglings there. I don't think it's going to matter, though. The damage has been done. It's 62 to 115 supply with our Zerg player in the lead, and look at that gas bank. Over 2,000 gas and 2,000 minerals saved up for Soulkey. He can pretty much churn out as much Ultras as he wants at this point.
Yeah, pretty much has the game at this point.
Yeah. Soulkey, I mean, he doesn't really have anything to deal with these air units, but he's kind of hoping that Stork will just leave the game, because essentially he has no economy left, so he can't really mine any gas or minerals that well. Just, a few probes left in that main base, but other than that, things are not looking so good for the commander.
Well, now he's making 4 Queens at a time to deal with the Void Rays and their air units right there. The squad of Queens moving down on the map. Now, seems like Stork also understanding how Hero felt last time. And is that Hero? Yeah, seems like the name that he pointed out was Hero. And Soulkey saying, I'm not going to drag it out as much as last time and try to humiliate you as much as possible.
Is he going to do that or not?
I don't know. He might be lying.
Oh, what did he...
He says he's not going to do the same thing that he did against Hero.
He's not going to. Well, I hope so.
That's what he said, quote unquote.
Well, Soulkey, he does like to joke around, so... He has the Queens and the Ultras, and they're moving towards Stork's natural here, so... I think that he intends on winning the game here and now. It's going to really come down to how stubborn is Stork. Will he leave when all of his air units die, or is he going to wait till his buildings go down?
I think he's going to pull a fantasy timing. I have to say, he's this army. He's still going to try to go for it, lifting up the Queens, but it is not going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, Stork, he has a good defense here, but the Ultras completely tearing apart anything on the ground. And I think that's going to be it for Stork. GG!
So Soulkey taking a decisive victory on Star Station, and now putting CJ Stars on board with a score of 2-1. Heckman Nissan still leading the series, but Soulkey can now play in the Winners League format in sets 5, 6, and 7.
Alright, so if Light is able to beat Jaedong in the next match, because Jaedong and Light, of course, will be only 2 players left, so they will be sent out. Then each team will have 2 players to send out for the Winners League style format. If Take Bang Lee's Song does manage to win